Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, AirsoftAL, the common man's airsofter who reviews bad guns so you don't buy them, and a lot of you know me as a person who loves revolvers. I have a very strong love for the little design, the little... well, I just love revolvers. And if you actually watched my old editorial from 2016, you know I talked about revolvers being more or less a gun of skill, not really one of speed or really high capacity. No, if you can tag one player in one shot from a revolver, you've designated your skill as a marksman and as a player. But when looking around, I've found that there aren't a lot of revolver rifles. And for a lot of you, you know that there have been revolver rifles. Hell, there's even revolver rifles in our modern era that are mostly used for hunting and sporting or target shooting, more or less. And, of course, ranch guns. But then Wingun, the marvelous people who this company, who I think is still around, basically copied this from. And, of course, Dan West and what have you. Everyone else is basically going to Wingun now for all their stuff. Looking at you, Umarex. Actually makes a revolver carbine, a revolver rifle. Introducing the Herd Wolf. The Herd Wolf, as you can see, is a literal revolver carbine, and the box itself I do like, giving this sort of blueprint-ish style, this sort of clean yet analytical design. Now, there are two versions of the Herd Wolf, one with a bipod and scope, one without a bipod and scope. That is the one we are talking about today. This one does not come with a bipod, but it does come with an integrated laser, and we'll get to that in a second. But the best parts keep coming, folks, because there are aftermarket parts for this. How do I know? Besides perusing on e-bike, the box literally shows you. It even shows an exploded view of the gun to basically show you every single nook and cranny of it, including... but not limited to the little one right here that shows you how to turn this into a revolver. Not only that, but there are aftermarket parts to make this thing into an 8-shot revolver. Which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to basically turn this into an 8-shot little compact PDW style weapon. Or I might leave the long barrel on there because the literal shorter barrel cap that I can get to replace that with, well, we'll get into that in a second. But, opening the box itself, which, again, I do like this, you see the rifle itself, which is actually really nice on there. Yes, there's a blazing orange tip, because, of course, federal mandates, but pulling the rifle itself out has a very nice heft to it. It does come with a speed loader for the shells themselves, so you can quickly load it in, but sadly I have lost that, putting that down. It also comes with a very nice manual I do like, even showing you how to put the batteries in the integrated laser, which we will talk about a little bit. But it does show you how everything works, which once again I absolutely love. And it's not like a simple booklet, it's actually a little poster of sorts, even showing you how to configure it into the pistol mode, and of course showing you how to use the speed loader for the actual shells. And once again, I just love Wingun for this. They know what they're doing! Send that to the side. The rifle itself, as you can see, is a very long gun and is a little bit cattywampus. That's because this piece here broke, or at least the connector point right here broke, sadly making the barrel a little bit wobbly, cattywampus. But aside from that, of my own fault, or shipping, what do you get with the gun? You get 2 fiber optic sights, a very nice long barrel, a very comfortable thumb hole stock, say, patterned grips, and a grip that actually conforms to your fingers. I do like that. Very comfortable, nice bit of Picatinny for all your attachment needs. And if you remove this right here, and yes, it is removable, you have a little sight post right here inside the Picatinny rail, and a nice leather right there. So even if you don't have this, you can do a lot with it. He's a fay. The laser itself is actually nice. The way to eject the laser is you press the button right here, but turning on the laser actually is fairly bright. It does work. That's what I like about lasers. If you actually give us a laser, make sure the damn thing works, and this one does work. Granted, the batteries might be a little low on this one, but when I first got it, it was bright. Very bright. But that does not stop there. The features don't stop. Oh no! You see, you can actually unscrew the barrel like so, and that piece just went. Convert this into a snub nose if you want. Yes, this is cross-compatible to make it into a snub nose revolver PDW. Now let's get it back together and we'll continue talking. Now before anyone asks, no, the flash hider is not removable. I've looked, I've checked, it's more or less glued on there. There is no threading on it. From what I've seen, I've tried to see everything. I've tried looking up photos of it. You cannot remove this flash hider. The only way you can is if you actually paint it, which is what I'm going to do. But the best thing is that it does retain all the features of a, well, basic revolver. Pulling the release back, the cylinder release back, you do have the safety. Pushing it midway, you have double action or single action, and then pushing it forward, you can release the shells. But like I said before, you can turn this into an 8-shot PDW, which is, again, what I'm going to do. Now you're probably asking, how do I get to the CO2? Do I slide it back like the Wingun revolver? No, you actually pull this down, which is a little difficult at first, like that, and you put the CO2 in there. Now I have used this at a lot of games, and it has actually not failed me yet. Granted, the range on it is what is going to catch a lot of people's eyes because it doesn't have a hop-up. This is a fixed hop-up system. And with the way I'm going to set it up, it's going to be set up for more or less a PDW, or, you know, more or less close quarters weapon, not really meant for long range. But again, you'll see that when we get outside. Any other complaints I have about it? We'll have to find out to the next half. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get outside to the chronograph, to the range, and actually talk about this, shall we? Alright, we have first thing a CO2 load up. This is the first spout of gas from it. So, firing. Did not register. Let's try it again. .12 FPS, which seems to be an error. I don't know why. Let's try it again. 435. I understand that's the third spout of CO2, so 420. 390. Last shot. 401. So not as hot as I expected, but then again, that first spout didn't exactly register, so it was probably too hot for it. But let's go ahead, get back, and see how we're doing shot-wise. As I'm a traditional hunter, of course, we have a red barrel out there about 30-40 feet. So I'm a little curious as to the actual shots I'll be hitting. Now, we've already spent 6 spouts of CO2, so it's around 300, 400 FPS. But my only worry is that, well, the power being lost from that spout of CO2. And granted, that comes with any gas-powered weapon. This isn't an AEG. Well, yes, there's an AEG revolver on the market. Yes, I'm going to review that one day. We're going to see how this works. So, turning on the run cam. Let's see if we can hit the barrel in one shot. Kind of curious if I can see the laser. Yeah, no, the batteries on the laser are so weak by this point that you can't see it, so I gotta replace the batteries on the laser real soon. But anyway, though, taking the first shot. Went over the barrel, but it did reach it, so let's go back and see if we can actually land the barrel, shall we? Here we are a little further back, and second shot, let's see if we can still hit the barrel, shall we? You're seeing that too, right? And that's all of it. sad to say, this thing's max distance right now, especially on the spout of CO2 that it was doing, is at most 60, 70 feet. Again, I haven't tried for just straight distance yet. So let's get one BB loaded up on here and actually see what the straight distance is. Alright, here we are at the highest point possible. And we're just going to shoot for straight distance. Now, I'm going to shoot the biggest tree that is out there on one shot. So, the tree directly at my 12, which you are seeing from the zoom cam, is what I'm aiming for. So, taking the shot. Let's see how far the BB goes before it actually fully drops off. So, here we go. It did hit the tree. Now, let's load this up with about 3 more shots, because we're going to try and go for straight distance. Now, what I'm suspecting is that gravity is at play. While yes, the .2 is a very light BB, okay, not as light as .12, gravity is at play. Granted, we were on a hillside. So, with that said, let's see what we can get at the moment with 3 shots. Alright, here we go. Trying to keep the barrel as steady as possible, because once again this link here is broken, so let's see what we can get. Yeah, no, it's not going past that point. Max distance is about 90 feet at the most. It's trying to break 100, but once again, it's not exactly doing it. So this is definitely good for CQB, or at least some sub 100 feet engagements. Not good for much more longer ranges unless you have, well, a better barrel, more or less. But let's get back inside and give the final verdict, shall we? So while, yes, I have no issues with the gun itself, there are some things I wish they would add to actually entice that price tag. One Wingun I think you can do is, well, actually offer 6 more shells. Because once again, this is almost a $120 to $130 gun. Another thing is actually update this, because thanks to the hater revolver actually having a hop-up now, I think integrating a hop-up into this would be good, because again, having the CQB shells that are sold on the market right now, or even brain exploder shells, you can have a hop-up on this. I don't think it wouldn't be hard to actually integrate a hop-up into this. Putting a hop-up in this would actually make it fairly good. Again, it's a good rifle for the price. It is a good rifle as is, and can be turned to a nice PDW or even a sidearm. As is, it is a little too hot for certain fields, but not for what I do or for the people I get together. And again, it's a good little gun. It really is. So yeah. Also, redesign the stock a bit, because yes, the stock is okay. It's just, I don't know. I can't describe it. It's a little old-fashioned for my taste. Actually try and make it a little more tactical, or even make it so that way it's a little bit more appealing to the eye. I mean, don't get me wrong, this is very appealing here, but there are a lot of other revolver carbines that have better-looking stocks, including ones which are much better designed, in my opinion. But again, that's just my 2 cents. Anyway, outside of that, I can't think of anything else that would be good for this. I mean, it's good as is. It is very nice for what it is. And for all the tactical attachments for it, you can turn this into a very nice, for other modifications that you could do to this thing, you could actually turn it into a very nice little sniper rifle if you want to. I'm dead serious on that. It does have that potential to be a nice little revolver sniper. Anyway. Final verdict for the Herd Wolf revolver carbine, or rifle, depending on which nomenclature you wish to use, is no more, no less than a 9 out of 10. A must-own. if you're looking for a revolver rifle to actually convert into a PDW, or you want to do something really cool with this, or you just want to make a statement on the field actually saying, hey, I've got skill you don't, then the Herd Wolf is definitely for you. But it misses the 10 out of 10 because of some features that's lacking. Yes, I know it's an old design that's still being produced today, but I think if an updated version of this came out with an integrated hop-up, with sling mounts, with a better looking stock, a much more tactical stock, a lot more stable, a much better barrel, I think, then I think it'd be good for the market. Anyway, thank you all for watching. As always, I've been AirsoftAL, the Commons Airsofter who reviews awesome things so you can decide whether or not you want them. And would you kindly consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification, all that good YouTube horseshit? And if you guys want to see more cool reviews, or even want to see what an upgrade one of these looks like, then consider donating to our PayPal down below. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, I've been AirsoftAL, and I will see all you lovely people in the next video. Till next time.